Kaylee up to today?
Working in school. Let me run to Bonnie. Hopefully, yesterday it crashed, so let's see what happens. Okay, so today is Yoga for Strength, starting a little late today, sorry guys. If Facebook crashes again today, please pop over to YouTube or live on YouTube. If not, you can just find it later on YouTube. We'll post it also on Facebook later on. So we're going to start on our backs. We are going to work pretty hard today. So start to land on your mat. Enjoy the little break. Start to really let go of all the things that happened before you got to your mat. So just you, just the mat, and all the things that are to happen after you leave the mat are not here yet. So start to feel your body on the ground, your breath in present moment. Check in and feel any tension. So maybe I'm working a lot on legs lately. So today we're going to do a little more upper body work just to kind of balance it out. So some strength in upper body, a little bit of legs. So start to notice your shoulders. Maybe move your head side to side. Check in and just notice what is present. So you kind of have a nice checkpoint for when we're all done. You notice what's different. And then we're going to take our feet up to the ceiling, spread our toes, take some slow ankle circles. Just starting to wake up the legs, feel what is present. We'll go back in the opposite direction. If it helps you to stay focused, look at your feet. Stay connected to what you're doing as you move. And then we're going to start to pedal out the legs. So pressing one leg long, bending the other knee, and then slowly changing. As if you're riding a bike, nice and slow. Starting to feel the muscles of the legs, mindful of what is going on in the back. So a little bit of attention, keeping your hips still on the ground. Maybe start to pedal your legs a little more towards the wall behind you rather than directly to the ceiling. Fire up the muscles of the stomach to keep your hips stable. Move with your breath. And then bring your knees in. Take your feet to the ceiling. Happy baby. So grab shins or outer edges of your feet. Just notice you can keep this static or rock it. And then land feet down, knees up, about hip width apart. We're going to move, lifting our hips. So land shoulders on the ground, neck comfortable. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower. Connecting to our breath, starting to really find the backs of our legs, the glutes, and the muscles of the stomach. So nice, even use. Try not to use one muscle group more than the other. So notice if the glutes want to really squeeze super tight and do all the work. And then land the hips down on the ground, knees into the chest. Roll on over to a side and come to tabletop. So we're going to move and breathe in our tabletop. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale towards child's. So really starting to feel your hands and shoulders. We're really connecting to the muscles of our hands and shoulders. We're going to start to make this movement a little bit bigger. Maybe bending the elbows, taking it to a child's pose push-up. Little soft connection. So not overstraining, just connecting, finding your muscles. And then changing it up. So move your hands to a different position. Maybe a little bit wider, maybe a little bit closer. Starting to feel different ways that your shoulders can be strong. And then bring it to a tabletop. Bring your hands, fingertips, index fingers and thumbs touch, making a triangle. We're going to come forward, weight onto the arms a little bit at a time. Weight and check so that you can be strong here. Then bend the elbows, little pulses. So go to the point where you're not buckling. This is buckling and hanging out in joints. This is strong muscles, active, little pulses. Breathe. And then bring it back. Take your hands really wide, maybe even a little wider than the mat. Bring your weight forward. Get strong first. Tension in your stomach so you're not buckling through the back. And then little pulses here. Notice how different this is. Small change, different muscles. Breathe. And then bring it back to a tabletop. We're going to turn our fingertips towards us. Closer to the knee is easier. Further apart is going to open a little more. Once you have your fingertips towards you, start to move and feel the back of your wrists. Maybe taking a little bit of weight onto your wrists in a different shape. Slow, steady, and mindful. Check in. If you have any inflammation in your wrists, don't put any weight on your wrists. Take a little insight. So looking at, feeling, noticing what is present. If your body is saying, ow, 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 this is inflamed, this hurts, turn your wrists back the other way. And then we're going to lift the wrist up and lower. So nice and slow, lift and lower. Just feeling our wrists. Come to a seat and take some slow wrist circles. Slow wrist circles. So always checking in. If your body says, ow, 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 this hurts, there's inflammation, listen to that. Try again some other time. It's okay to push into a little bit of inflammation, building strength slowly, but listen to your body. If it makes it worse the next day, back off. Try something different. Other way with your wrists. And then tabletop to down dog. Warming up your down dog in whatever way feels right for you. So we're going to move through with our breath here. You're welcome to go back to tabletop child's. We're going to move through a high plank almost. So this is not quite a traditional shape. We're going to pull forward to a high plank shape, strong, and then pull back to a down dog shape. However, as you're doing this, I want you to try and think about moving from the tailbone. So really pulling from the tailbone forward, coming forward nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale, pull from the tailbone back. Just trying to really think about being long in the torso, as long as you can get in the torso. Imagine you're making space for all of your spine. Mindful that you're not buckling through the low back or in the shoulders. Make the movement smaller if you're getting tired. And then slow forward, lower the knees. Come to cobra. So find the place where you can hold forward, pulling forward, not yanking your head back. Press the tops of the feet down. Imagine that you're getting a little more space for the spine. And then slowly lower to crocodile pose. Shimmy the hips. Loosen and soften anything in the low back. Find your breath. We're going to move with our back muscles here. So inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, lower. Feet can remain on the ground or they can fire up and lift also. See if you can imagine getting longer in the spine again. So not such a huge arch as cobra, but lifting up and getting longer. Maybe even grounding through the palms of the hands and pulling as if you're lifting longer in the spine. Make more room. Get stronger in the back. And then back to crocodile, shimmy, loosen, soften. Place forearms down on the ground and we're coming back to a forearm version of child's pose. So press back, keeping the forearms down, holding a child's pose shape. Start to activate the forearms. So we're going to imagine we're pulling the wrists and elbows apart without letting them move. And then we're going to start to bring our nose forward. So nose comes forward nice and slow and mindful with arms and shoulders strong, and then back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Connect to the muscles that make this movement happen. Don't just throw your body around in space. Maybe even tuck the toes, lift the knees, and start to take a little more weight into the shoulders. Watch for tension in the neck. And then lower the knees if they're lifted. Slowly come back to down dog. Inhale, slowly lift the right leg high, three-legged dog. Try not to move anything else. Press through the heel long. And then we're going to take a long, slow circle with this right leg. Try not to move anything else. So try and be nice and strong in the right leg as if you're trying to feel every way that it can move within the hip. And then go back in the other direction. Press high, three-legged dog, longer, longer, longer. And then step through low lunge. Moving and breathing with our low lunge. Inhale forward, exhale towards straight. Just feeling your legs, being present with your legs. And then find a steady low lunge. Both legs active. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Hold. Hands can lift, they can come to prayer. You can come to your hips, lots of options. We're gonna focus on the legs for just a little. So lower the left knee, slow, slow, slow. Lower to the point where you feel strong and active. And then we're gonna inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Try to keep both legs really strong. Soften the front toes. And then lower, hold, challenge. See if you can fire up right glute, right thigh a little more, longer in the torso. Left leg might be burning. Bring your torso over the right leg. Start to pop up the back leg, warrior three. Nice and slow and control. Press through left heel. Hold. Bend the back leg. Bring the knee behind the right. Slow hover. Little pulses with the right leg. So little tiny half squats. Hold, challenger balance. Breathe. And then slowly step back, all the way back, high lunge. Frame out the front foot. Left foot meets right. Down dog. Right foot meets left. Front foot meets back foot. Find your down dog. Notice left and right sides. So notice what is talking. Maybe right glute. Maybe left thigh. Feel, be present. And then a nice solid foundation in the arms and shoulders. Slowly lift left leg high. Press through the heel. Big, slow, slow circle, active leg. And then back in the opposite direction. Three-legged dog. Lengthen, step through, low lunge. Move and breathe. Inhale forward, exhale towards straight. Find a steady low lunge, both legs strong and active. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Options for your hands. Lower back knee. Find the position, not your biggest extension, so we're not like looking to get all the way down to the mat. You're finding where you're super strong. Hold here, then lift and lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Restrict the movement. Don't just flop around in space. Find your muscles. Hold, lowered knee, strong, hold. And then high lunge, weight onto the left leg. Start to pop up the back. Come to warrior three. Press through the left heel. Breathe and balance. And back knee. Bring the right knee just behind the left or back just behind the front. Little tiny half squats. Keep an eye on the hips. So watch for right hip, left hip moving side to side. Try and keep your hips steady and still. I'm going to feel this all in the right glute. Left glute, sorry. I tapped left, said right. And then slowly back through warrior three to high lunge. Frame out the front foot. Left foot meets right, down dog. Option to return to tabletop child's pose, Or back to pulling from the tailbone. Inhale forward, strong on the arms. Exhale back to down dog. And then if you're staying with this down dog version, come to down dog. Bend the knees a little. Now we're going to focus on moving from the heels. So we're going to move from the legs, push forward towards the arms, bend the elbows. Back to this bent knee down dog shape. Inhale forward. Exhale back. So notice how it changes the shape and the muscle groups used when we focus on the legs. So pressing through the feet, coming forward. Wherever you're at, lower your knees, child's pose, reset. What can you let go of? Maybe flip the palms, soften the shoulders. Find your breath. Feel the ground. Going back to tabletop, we're going to place right knee behind right hand and turn. So baby half moon. Left foot down on the ground first. So focused first on this base. So this is hanging out of my shoulder, not strong, just hanging out in the joint. Pull up out of the ground. Activate the muscles in the torso. Get longer. So you should be able to almost pop off this wrist. Nice and strong in the torso first. Then we're going to lift the left leg. Press through the heel. So strong left leg. Lifting up out of the ground. Left hand can be on the hip, can go up if you like. Watch for tension in the neck. So have the neck comfortable. Hold here. Now we're going to bend the left knee, nothing else moves. Bend the knee, bring the leg forward towards the nose, and then back. Nice and slow. Nothing else moves. Control your movement. Hold baby half moon, nice and strong, still lifting up out of the ground. Don't sink into that shoulder. Lower the left foot down. We're going to come on up with the torso and over, lengthen right side rib cage. So watch for pressing down into the ankle or the knee in any funny shape. Be comfortable on the left side, lengthen right side. Breathe. Slowly bring left knee back. Left side. So we're switching to the other side. Left hand comes down, set up your base carefully first. So really pulling up out of the wrist. Oftentimes when we come to press-ups or anything on our wrists, we sink into the wrists, we let our joints take all of the work. So pulling up first, set up your base first. Get really long, strong, then lift right leg. Press through the heel. Breathe and hold. Right knee slowly comes towards nose without anything else moving. And then we're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull knee to nose. Nice and slow. Try not to sink into that left shoulder or wrist. Strong in the torso. Lengthen through the right leg. Slowly lower it, coming up to gate pose. So watch ankle and knee. Lengthen left side. Breathe. Right knee comes down to meet left. So, lots of options for this. You can tuck the toes. You can leave them top down. You can place something in underneath your knees if your knees are delicate. We're holding here. Options with your feet. Hands to prayer, just to find your base first. Start to feel like you're kind of pulling your knees apart. So activate your legs and your stabilizer muscles in your legs. Then we're going to start to press the hips forward. So first we're just going to activate pushing the hips forward, finding hip flexes, and then coming back to neutral. So you can have your hands on your hips to help you think about this. You can keep them in prayer. And just a little push forward and a little pull back. So are your glutes doing all the work here? Try and find the thighs. Glutes are going to be active, but we don't want them to be the primary controllers. We want them to be stabilizers, not primary movers. Push hips forward and back. And then options to just keep with this if this is enough, working on your upper thighs, or you're going to push forward and start to lean. So you're going to push forward, activate first, then shoulders come back. Watch for leading with the head, lead with the shoulders. Hands can support you here. However, don't rely on your hands. Rely on your tops of your thighs. Push forward, be strong. Support yourself with your muscles. Don't go further than your muscles can be strong. Hold and breathe. You can feel like you're pulling your shoulders back and towards each other, opening up across chest. Breathe. Slow, slow, slow to neutral. Wherever you're at, lower the hips. If you'd like to stretch your feet, you can keep your toes tucked and land on your toes, or just lower. Think about softness. Take one hand in your lap, the other on top, touch thumbs. Think about lots and lots and lots of softness across the low back in case you tweaked anything. Thinking about sending your breath all the way down your spine to the tailbone and sweeping away anything no longer needed on the way out. Slowly make your way to a tabletop and down dog. Find your down dog and take a moment to check in and notice what is different from the first down dog you took today. Maybe some things are tired, maybe some things feel more open. Checking in, noticing how you feel. The whole purpose is to check in, get to know what is present in your own experience. We're going to slowly lower our forearms down to the ground. If you are not super strong in the shoulders, lower the knees first and bring the forearms down. If you would like to move slow, you're going to first imagine you're pulling your elbows apart without letting them move. So activate the arms and then slowly lower the elbows down to the ground. And you're going to end up in dolphin pose. So find your position. Take the tension out of the neck. Bend the knees if you need more space. Really find where you need to be. And you can tiptoe the toes a little further forward. If you are strong in the shoulders, you can take a little more weight. Turn your world upside down. No tension in the neck. All the strength is in your shoulders. Breathe. If you tiptoed your feet closer, step them back. Either make your way to down dog however you feel safe, lowering the knees, or if you want the challenge and you can remain strong, not buckling through the shoulders, slowly peel up the elbows. Slow, slow, slow and controlled, and then down dog. Inhale, right leg high. Step through, warrior 2 feet this time. Lower the back foot. Inhale, rise up. Warrior 2, find your base. So, strong legs, both legs, not hanging out in joints. We're gonna move here. Move and breathe with some strength in our legs. So hands at prayer just to keep your focus on your legs for a little bit. We're gonna peel up the right heel and lower. So just peeling it up and sliding a piece of paper underneath, that's enough. If you want, you can try and move a little more, but go where you are strong. So if I'm here and I'm flopping around, my ankles moving left and right, it's too high for me. Start smaller, get stronger first. Breathe, lift, and then we're going to tombe. So we're going to press off the ball of our right foot. So press, lift, light. Press, lift, light. So press off the ball, lift the leg long. So watch for too much in the back leg. So watch for the knee being in a strange ankle. Strong back leg, strong front leg. Lift, push. Strong legs. Try and land super light. Land warrior 2. Notice if it's completely different than your standard warrior 2. Wiggle around, find your typical pose where you're comfortable. Find your base. Lengthen through the torso. Arms out. Left arm is going to reach. We're going to pull back and push forward, thinking about our shoulders. Strong legs, stable base. Warrior 2, flip the palms. Lengthen, front leg, come back, reverse triangle. Lengthen the right side body. Back through warrior 2. If you have a block, a little bit ahead of your foot, we're coming to half moon. So we did baby half moon, now on to half moon. Start to come forward, look at your block, weight onto the right leg, strong here first. Then pop up the back leg. Once you get here, take a check-in. Are you still using those muscles that we were talking about when we were on the ground? Maybe you can pop up the fingers and hold long. Challenge to bend the knee on the left leg. Maybe reach for the foot. You catch the foot, press into the foot. So press the hand into the foot into the hand. Counter forces. Slowly release the foot if you caught it. Slowly back where we came. Land light. Pivot on the back foot. Frame out the front. Right foot meets left down dog. Find your breath. We're going to turn around. Inhale, left leg high. Step through. Back foot lowers. Warrior 2. Inhale as you rise up. Find your base. Strong legs. Start to peel up the front heel. Really paying attention. So one of the things we often do is we move from a joint. So see if you can find the muscles in the thigh and the muscles in the lower leg and not feel anything in the knee. So find that position. And then find your solid base. And we're going to push off the ball of the left foot, both legs strong. Push, land, lift. Push, land, lift. Strong legs. Don't forget to breathe. check your base. Where are you? Notice. See how it feels. Arms long. Right hand reaches. Pull back. Push forward. Strong shoulders. Warrior two. Arms. Flip the palms. Start to straighten up the front leg. Reverse your triangle. Slowly back to warrior two. Set your foundation, find your block. Arming your way onto the left leg, slowly come up to half moon. So looking at your block, activating your torso first, especially the muscles between the hip and the rib cage. Then peel up, left leg. Oh, sorry, right leg. Lengthen, press through the heel, maybe flip. Don't forget to breathe. Challenge to bend the knee. Find the foot. Slowly release the foot if you have it. And slowly return. Warrior two. Pivot on the back foot. Bring up the front. Left foot points right. And either meet me in child's or our down dog challenge. So, holding a down dog, little soft bend in the knees so we're not moving around a lot in the hips. Strong in the shoulders. We're in a shoulder tap. So left hand taps behind your head onto the shoulder, right hand taps. Starting to move left and right. Place your hands a little bit wider. Try to keep this movement in the shoulders. Now start to make it more in the shoulders. Lift the left arm, lift the right arm. So no more shoulder tap. We're really starting to move open on the shoulder as we move left and right. Strong, slow, controlled shoulder movements. And then wherever you're at, knees down, child's pose, release. Option to flip the palms, option to let the hands come behind the head in a prayer. Release, let your breath go. Find your way to down dog. Have your block handy at the front of your mat. We're going to look forward and bend our knees a little bit. Option to just hop or float forward. If you would like to start to take bunny hop challenges, we've worked the shoulders, so start to take weight forward onto your shoulders. So just start to lift forward as if you're coming to handstand. Pulling forward, bent knees, just starting to experience some weight on your shoulders, bringing your hips towards your shoulders. And then maybe starting to bring your heels towards the glutes and doing little bunny hops, taking a little teeny bit of weight up on your hands. Tricks, if you're not comfortable, just leave your feet on the ground and start to really just feel some weight on your shoulders. Also, knowing how you're going to fall out. If you come up and you get way above your shoulders and you feel like you're going to fall out, so know that you can just put your feet back down. Lengthen your feet, come back down the way you came. And then wherever you're at, land in a forward fold. Find a forward fold. Inhale, rise up, arms overhead. Exhale, heart to heart. Connecting to our breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, heart to heart. One more time. We're going to step open wide. Goddess legs, and we're going to grab that block. So goddess legs, grab your block. Hold the goddess that you can hold comfortably because we're going to be here for a little while. You're going to take your block, you're going to squeeze it. So wide side, between your hands, squeeze. Hold your shoulders, lower the hips, hold. So little light block, no problem, right? Squeeze and hold. And then we're going to push our shoulders forward and then pull them back while squeezing. So it's a little teeny movement. Let's see if I can show you. Push forward, pull back. Just my shoulders, nothing else. Push your shoulders forward, pull back. Trying to keep the squeeze on the block. Hold your block, bring it down, and we're going to take it left and right. So take it towards the left knee, center, right. So we're moving from our rib cage, still squeezing the block. Keeping our hips still. Legs burning, maybe lower your hips even more. See if you can come down a little bit more. Breathe. Bring it back to neutral. Straighten up the legs, star pose. Hold the block on your right hand, take it up. So palm out. We're not gripping. We're holding and balancing. Hold it here. Lengthen, hold. We're going to slowly bring it forward, switch sides, and open. Hold. And then we're going to switch back and forth. So breathing as we open and lift. Watch for locking of your knees. If your legs are not tired enough, you can lower back down to goddess legs, or you can focus on the arms and shoulders. Starting to think about how this little tiny light block might be feeling heavier and heavier. And then bring it into your left hand. Bring the elbows into the rib cage. Now we're holding. Option to straighten or lower the hips. We're going to switch here. So hands together, switch, open. Hands towards each other, switch, open. Trying to engage the shoulders here. Watch for tension in your neck and your jaw. Breathe. And then let your block go. Bring your feet parallel. Take a little shake of the legs and then flick out the arms. So try and get some shakes in the arms. And then just to really get the shakes going, we're gonna jump in. Little soft bounces on the feet, little soft bounces in the arms. Trying to get some shaking, loosening, softening. And then land, mountain, connect to your breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, heart to heart. 3 times. Hold your mountain pose with your hands at prayer. Maybe close your eyes. Challenge to peel up the heels without overlocking the knees. Come to the balls of your feet with your eyes closed. See if you can hold with your eyes closed without gripping in the toes. Breathe. Challenge. Feel how much you move and wobble. And start over whenever you fall. And then we're going to inhale up, swan dive it down. Lower, forward fold, let go. So find a forward fold where you can release all of the tension from your head, maybe even a soft little no. Trying to let the tension go of your head and your neck. Bending the knees, option to take gorilla hands. So bring the fingertips pointing towards you. Lift your balls of your feet and place your feet onto your hands. A little opening for the backs of your wrists. And you can wiggle your toes around on the palms of your hands, a little massage. Slowly unravel if you placed your hands underneath, and slowly lower the hips, come to a seated position. So, comfortable seat, hips on the ground, long in the spine. And just a little bit of feeling the shoulders and the arms. So lift the shoulders all the way to the ears. Pull the shoulders all the way back towards each other, and then slowly pull them down. And then pick them up and drop them. Let them go. Hands out. Arms are soft though, not like strong muscles. And then just roll arms around back and forth, slow. Feeling shoulders, feeling any points that might be stuck or creaky, just noticing. Move your arms and shoulders around. And then arms down, neutral spine. And then thinking about moving from the chest. If it helps, you can place one hand on top of the other on your chest so that you know where you're moving from. We're going to take little tiny spirals from this point. So little tiny spirals, trying not to move too much around the hips, just the chest. And then back in the other direction. Think about swirling, cleaning, sweeping around any stagnant energy. Back to neutral, hold your hands here. Notice what is present. Maybe bowing your chin towards your hands, as if honoring this space for a moment. And then taking your time, coming very slowly down to your back. We're going to land on our back. Bring our knees in and check in. What was our base point? How did we feel when we started practice? What is different? We're going to take a happy baby. Maybe notice some differences here. Check in. What is present? Knees back in towards the chest, curling into a ball. So curling in, feeling a protective shape. So feeling as if you're hugging yourself, supporting yourself. Thinking about things that weigh on our shoulders. So many of us carry our tension on our shoulders, and that's the first place that we feel any stress. So thinking about the things that weigh on our shoulders and thinking about closing in, giving the space a little bit of protection. And then we're going to slowly unfurl as if we were a flower slowly blossoming. So slowly bring our legs down. First, let our hips land. Feel our hips on the ground. Take a little sway. Feel your hips. Maybe even place your hands here and remind yourself that your hips are on the ground. The ground is below you. You are being supported. Now bring your attention to your shoulders. Where are they in space? Are they rounded? Are they pulling forward still? Slowly, one at a time. Peel as if you're peeling them down, unfurling your shoulder, and let your arm move wherever it needs to move so that the shoulder can find the ground. Maybe your arm bends, maybe the palm comes up. Notice your own comfort, your own tension, and then work on the next shoulder, work on the other one. And notice that maybe the arms are in completely different places. We are not symmetrical. Our appearance of having 2 eyes and 2 ears and 2 legs and 2 arms makes us feel like we should be symmetrical. But we all have different holding patterns, different ways of presenting, and things are just not perfectly symmetrical. And then as you start to find your shoulders on the ground, think about your shoulder blade in the back. So in the middle of your shoulder blade, in the back of your shoulder blade. So think about this part of the bone finding the ground. So imagine you could find sensation. So think about how many times you've moved your shoulder blades and you've never thought about how they feel. They just kind of move automatically without too much attention. Now we're going to see if we can imagine feeling every single part of this bone. So see if you can imagine them feeling heavier and heavier and slowly sinking into the muscles of the back towards the ground, letting gravity pull the weight of these bones into the ground. If it helps, you can connect this to your breath, breathing in fresh, and with the exhale, just kind of sighing and releasing into the ground. Imagining with each exhale, your shoulder blades are getting a little heavier. And then as you're getting closer and closer and closer to fully relaxed in your shoulders and your shoulders finding the ground, check in. So many places where this tension extends to. There may be some pulling across the front of the shoulders into the chest. There may be some pulling in the neck, in the front of the neck, in the back of the neck, in the jaw. Particularly check in where upper and lower jaw meet. So without moving, just send your awareness there first. Check in on all these places. Check in on your low back. Check in on the palms of your hands, see if they're soft. And then wherever you found tension, and if you didn't find tension, just continue breathing in and softly sighing out and releasing into the ground. But wherever you found tension, bring all of your focus to that point. Breathe in as if you're sending that intentional oxygen that you're breathing in right to that place, refreshing that place, sending all of your good oxygen right to that space. And with the exhale, you're sighing out anything that's stuck here, letting it soften, letting it loosen. Your imagination is a powerful tool. It can really assist this mind-body connection. We can do magical things just with using our intentions. So if you have really a lot of gripping that you're focusing on right now, see if you can bring all of your awareness here. And maybe if you're visual, you can imagine your fresh breath having a color or a temperature or texture, and you're really sending it intentionally to that tension. And watching it soften and melt. And a careful note to be compassionate and kind with our tension. Sometimes we've been holding on to this tension for a lifetime. So don't be surprised if it takes 1,000 breaths to let it go. Don't be surprised if on a Monday you got it perfect and on a Wednesday it seems to be all back. Be compassionate, be kind, and be patient with yourself and what you find. And then without waking anything too much, make a decision about which position you would like to remain in for the rest of your resting pose. You can extend the legs, you can let the knees fall in towards each other. You can remain exactly as you are. We're going to start to let go of control of even our breath. Loosening and softening. Trying to get softer, softer, softer. So we're going to think about this concept of softness. Kind of the opposite of a yoga for strength class. So we work with opposites a lot in yoga. So think about all that muscle strength we try to build. And then what would be the exact opposite of that? See if you can find that in every muscle in the body, starting with the physical body. Starting and then moving on to the breath, and then we're going to move on to the head, cognitive head. So, strengthen the cognitive head is thinking and processing and thinking about studying for an exam. That's strengthen the cognitive head. That's working our cognitive mind. So what is the opposite of that? It can be common to think the opposite of that is emptiness. So we do all this work, processing our world, boxing things up and trying to understand things. The cognitive mind assists us, tries to explain things, tries to put things in ways that we can more comfortably move around in our world because we think we've got it narrowed down and explained to us. So the opposite of that, emptiness, if we think of that as emptiness, would be kind of undoing all the work of the cognitive mind. So can we think of the opposite of that being softness? So it's not that we tell the mind to be empty and still and free of thoughts. It's that we ask ourselves to soften and allow the mind to just keep doing what it does and be less tense around the thoughts, less gripping, softer around our thoughts. So can you think of your cognitive mind today as being just like one of the muscles in your body? And it's been working. And we're slowly going to soften. Take a break from questions. Take a break from chasing thoughts and just soften. Soften into the ground that's supporting you. If you have the time to take practicing softening, take as much time as you need. You need to finish up at the 60-minute mark. We are right up on that 60-minute mark to begin to bring a little awareness to the physical body. Some soft movements to the fingers and the toes. And slowly make your way to a fetal position if you're not there already. And taking a moment in the fetal position to just imagine being wrapped back up in that ball of protection. Think about all the weight that we carry, the tension in our body. So tension in our thoughts is connected to tension in our body. They're closely interconnected. So just think about the physical tension. Think about letting some of it drop to the ground, being ready to let some of it go. And then coming on up, feeling a little bit softer, a little bit lighter. Bringing our hands to prayer heart space. Connecting our left and right sides to meet in front of our heart. And then bow down. So nod down. Send your intention internally to your spiritual center, your heart center, your bliss center. Wrap yourself in a little compassion and kindness. And then ask yourself, from this compassion and kindness, may it give you strength for the rest of your day, for the rest of your week, for whatever comes next. And then hands to prayer in the center of our forehead, and send this out into our community. May we all know more compassion, more kindness, and may our actions be guided from this compassionate kindness. Thank you so much for joining us.